Well. It looks like the city of Kelowna may be admitting that they're wrong. According to this article that I'll show you here in a moment by Castanet, the city may be backtracking on the short-term rental restrictions that they put in place last May. The new rules came into effect when the province put new rules into effect, but the city of Kelowna, they went one step further, restricting essentially all Airbnbs except for a few licenses that were already in place. At that time, when the rules were put into place, the whole goal was to increase or protect the long-term rental supply here in Kelowna, but that clearly didn't happen, and I'll go over that right now in the article by Castanet. And this is the article here. So, Kelowna looking to backtrack on short-term rental rules. This literally just came out January 16th. The city of Kelowna is rethinking its policies around short-term rentals, and if city council agrees, this hasn't gone through yet, staff will craft new bylaws that would bring the city in line with provincial standards established more than a year ago. So in early 2024, in response to the provincial legislation, that's when the province brought in basically sweeping short-term rental regulations, basically saying that you can only rent out a portion of your home. So say a room in your home, you could rent out your secondary suite or a carriage house, but you couldn't have an investment, say a condo downtown Kelowna, strictly as an investment for Airbnbs. Now, this is where the city of Kelowna, you can see here, adopted new short-term rental rule bylaws that were more restrictive than those enacted by the province. And as a result of that, the number of legal, keyword there, short-term rentals plummeted from 1,217 in 2023 to just 427 last year. So that's again where they basically got rid of any secondary properties that were short-term rentals. So like if someone had an investment condo, and they only allowed or kept 427 licenses that were in effect as long as that was your principal residence. And over the last year, especially over the summer here in Kelowna, we get tons of tourism. That's basically our economy here. So short-term rental regulations have drawn strong criticism from the local businesses and the development community as a core reason for the decline in the local economy. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that's the real core reason that there was a huge decline in local economy. I think it's just a combination of everything that's happened over the last couple years, with interest rates rising, people's home prices going up if you were on a variable, groceries going up, just everything going up. I think people just took a year off last year for the most part. And I don't think that's the short-term rental restrictions was the actual core reason that the economy declined last year. Now, going back to the article, staff have reviewed and summarized the available data on short-term rentals as it relates to housing and tourism. The data indicates that fluctuations in the local economy are a result of several factors and cannot be directly attributed to the city's data. So yeah, that's basically just what I said there. It's more of a combination of things rather than, just strictly attributed to the short-term rental bylaws. Now, between 2023 and 2024, there was about 1,200 illegal short-term rentals happening as well. So we had 1,200 legal ones and 1,200 illegal ones. And now we have, 427 legal ones, but I still think we have, I don't think we have 1,200 illegal ones anymore, but there's still definitely some, I guess you would call, shadow inventory for the short-term rentals or Airbnb units here. I can't see them all being shut down. Now, based on the information released during 2024, it indicates several reasons for aligning local bylaws with the provincial ones. This includes eligibility for a federal short-term rental grant that would support enforcement efforts and consistency with the province's new compliance and enforcement unit. So that unit, as far as I know, they scour Airbnb and all those other sites for illegal units, and then get those platforms to remove those listings and possibly fine those people for listing those illegal units. Now, easing the secondary use restrictions on short-term rentals in Kelowna would remove some of the perceived negative impact of these restrictions on the local economy. So that goes back to my earlier statement there, where I personally don't think it's 100% or the core reason why the economy did so bad this year in Kelowna. I just think it's a combination of things. But again, yeah, I agree with this, the perceived negative impact. So this will help, and kudos to the city for realizing this. And with Kelowna's vacancy rates trending upward and ample new purpose-built rental supply in stream, staff recommend aligning our local regulations with the province. And Kelowna really does have a ton of purpose-built rentals going up right now. So basically, if you're driving around town, except for a few of the big towers or big projects going up along Lakeshore or right downtown, all the other ones you see are purpose-built rentals. Probably 99% of them are all going to be purpose-built rentals. Now, the current bylaws only allow short-term rentals as a secondary use. However, the new bylaws would allow them to be as a principal use. So you'll be able to rent out your suite short-term, or if you have a carriage house, you'll be able to rent that out. So they're going to be, again, aligning with the provincial rules. If you want the full breakdown of what the provincial rules are, I'll link them down below in the description. And just going back to the vacancy rates here in the city, if it stays, or if it gets to and stays above 3% vacancy for at least 2 years, the city, if they so choose, they can opt out of the provincial rules. Now, just to conclude, it's not clear if the city's restrictions improved housing affordability or impacted tourism. That is kind of laughable. It certainly didn't improve housing affordability, especially in that short of period of time, or impact tourism. It probably impacted tourism a little bit, but again, as I'm a broken record here, I think it's just a combination of things. And adding the rise in the rental vacancy rate stems from more purpose-built rentals in large developments and not an increase in secondary suites converted from short to long-term rentals. What we actually saw was more of those, what were supposed to be long-term rentals, those people that own those short-term rentals, say condos downtown Kelowna, they just put them up for sale. Let me know down in the comments section what you think of the city reverting or going to the province's rules. Now again, this won't benefit anyone that had say a secondary condo downtown Kelowna that they rented out. It still has to be within your primary residence, but we'll see what happens in 2025. I really hope the economy picks up this year.